Good evening. This is Amalgamated News. I'm Sebastian Michaels. This week we are looking at Reality Lee Winner, the American intelligence specialist employed by Pluribus International Corporation, who was arrested on June 3, 2017, on suspicion of leaking an intelligence report about Russian interference in the 2016 United States election to the news site The Intercept. Amalgamated News is interested in this story because we believe that it is important to keep Reality Winters in the public eye so that she stays safe and her story is told. Reality Lee Winner was born December 4, 1991 in Alice, Texas, to Ronald and Billy Winner. Her unusual name, according to her stepfather Gary Davis, was given to her by her father Ronald, and according to Mr. Davis, quote, he always wanted to have a real winner, so he named her Reality Lee Winner. It's just a beautiful name. The plan was to call her Lee because Reality is kind of a strange name, but everyone who knew her just loved the name Reality, and it stuck with her. I forget sometimes that she has ever been called Lee. She's always been Reality. End quote. She attended a faith-based elementary school and middle school in Ricardo, Texas. Her parents divorced in 1999 when she was 7. She grew up in Kingsville, Texas, where she went to H.M. King High School. She excelled in academics and athletics, specifically tennis. After high school, Reality Winters enlisted in the United States Air Force. She attended the Defense of Language Institute in Monterey, California, where she became proficient in Arabic, Farsi, Dari, and Pashto, languages spoken in Iran and Afghanistan. After her time at the Defense Language Institute, she was deployed to Fort George G. Meade in Maryland, where she became attached to the National Security Agency. She achieved the rank of Senior Airman with the 94th Intelligence Squadron as a cryptologic linguist. She was awarded an Air Force Commendation Medal in October of last year. The commendation reads as follows. Quote, the distinctive accomplishments of Airman Winner while serving her country reflect credit upon herself in the United States Air Force. Airman Winter provided over 1,900 hours of enemy intelligence exploitation and assisted in geolocating 120 enemy combatants during 734 airborne sorties air missions. She facilitated 816 intelligence missions, 3,236 time-sensitive reports, and removing more than 100 enemies from the battlefield. Furthermore, while deployed to support combatant commanders' requirements, Airman Winner was appointed as the lead deployment language analyst, providing 2,500 reports, aiding in 650 enemy captures, 600 enemies killed in action, and identifying 900 high-value targets. End quote. After leaving the Air Force, Reality Winters took a job with Pluribus International Corporation, an Alexandria, Virginia-based contractor for the National Security Agency. She was assigned to Fort Gordon, Georgia, where on February 13th, 2017, she moved into a house in one of the poorer parts of Augusta, Georgia. She had top security clearance despite many of her anti-Trumpovich tweets. It is from the Fort Gordon facility that she is accused of accessing top-secret documents detailing Russia's interference in the 2016 election. She allegedly printed the documents and mailed them to The Intercept. The article in question that was written in The Intercept on June 5th, 2017 reads as follows. Russian military intelligence executed a cyber attack on at least one U.S. voting software supplier and sent spear phishing emails to more than 100 local election officials just days before last November's presidential election, according to a highly classified intelligence report obtained by The Intercept. The top-secret National Security Agency document, which was provided anonymously to The Intercept and independently authenticated, analyzes intelligence very recently acquired by the agency about a months-long Russian intelligence cyber effort against elements of the U.S. election and voting infrastructure. The report, dated May 5, 2017, is the most detailed U.S. government account of Russian interference in the election that has yet come to light. While the document provides a rare window into the NSA's understanding of the mechanics of Russian hacking, it does not show the underlying raw intelligence on which the analysis is based. A U.S. intelligence officer who declined to be identified cautioned against drawing too big a conclusion from the document because a single analysis is not necessarily definitive. The report indicates that Russian hacking may have penetrated further into U.S. voting systems than was previously understood. It states unequivocally in its summary statement that it was Russian military intelligence, specifically the Russian General Staff Main Intelligence Directorate, or GRU, that conducted the cyber attacks described in the document. Russian General Staff Main Intelligence actors executed cyber espionage operations against a named U.S. company in August 2016, evidently to obtain information on elections-related software and hardware solutions. The actors likely used data obtained from that operation to launch a voter registration-themed spear phishing campaign targeting U.S. local government organizations. The NSA summary judgment is sharply at odds with Russian President Vladimir Putin's denial last week that Russia had interfered in foreign elections. Quote, "We never engaged in that on a state level and have no intention of doing so," unquote. Putin, who had previously issued blanket denials that any such Russian meddling occurred, for the first time floated the possibility that freelance Russian hackers with patriotic leanings may have been responsible. The NSA report, on the contrary, displays no doubt that the cyber assault was carried out by the GRU. The NSA analysis does not draw conclusions about whether the interference had any effect on the election's outcome and concedes that much remains unknown about the extent of the hackers' accomplishments. However, the report raises the possibility that Russian hacking may have breached at least some elements of the voting system, which disconcertingly uncertain results. The NSA and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence were both contacted for this article. Officials requested that we not publish or report on the top-secret document and declined to comment on it. When informed that we intended to go ahead with the story, the NSA requested a number of redactions. The Intercept agreed to some of the redaction requests after determining that the disclosure of that material was not clearly in the public interest. The Intercept is an online publication launched in February of 2014. Their first story was leaked documents from Edward Snowden showing that the NSA was building a system to infect potentially millions of computers with malware. This was released in March 2014. They claim to produce aggressive adversarial journalism across a wide range of issues. You can read this article in its entirety on The Intercept, which is linked to our Facebook page. On June 8, 2017, Winter pleaded not guilty to willful retention and transmission of national defense information and was denied bail. Reality Winner was arrested June the 3rd, 2017. The Intercept contacted the NSA to confirm the veracity of the documents. The NSA was able to trace the documents to the Augusta facility based on a nearly invisible dot pattern in the document, which led back to a specific printer that was accessed by 6 people, one of them Reality Winter. The U.S. Department of Justice announced her arrest on June the 5th, shortly after the article appeared in The Intercept. One of the reasons for the denial of her bail was a Memorial Day weekend trip to Belize, in which she had gone to visit Mayan ruins. The prosecutor inferred that perhaps this trip was for more nefarious anti-American purposes, but that is not the case. Ronald Winter, Reality's biological father, passed away just before Christmas of 2016. Although they had a somewhat distant and strained relationship, they had always talked about going to see the Mayan ruins in Central or South America. It was for that reason that Winter went to Belize to put closure on her relationship with her father. It has been quite typical for the Trumpovich administration to use obfuscation and misinformation, hinting that she had learned Arabic in order to become a terrorist, when in fact she did it to serve her country. We at Amalgamated News believe that if she did in fact leak the documents that she is accused of leaking, it was only to serve her country and do her patriotic duty, because the truth is important to a functioning democracy. And these reports detailed an attack on the American election system by a hostile foreign power. Why would they want to keep it covered up? Thank you for listening. I am Sebastian Michaels. And one final note, her mother and stepfather has set up a GoFundMe account, which will be linked to from our Facebook page in order to support the family and help pay legal fees. Thank you. This has been the news.